Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another episode of Not Red's You. This is Free Game. Yay! I am your host, J Red, also joined by my other host, Melanie Gibbs. You already know what she's about, fifth quarter representative.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So check this out, y'all. If y'all tuned into our last episode of Free Game, this is a new show targeted at millennials that are going through, dating, relationships, sex, all that good stuff. We don't limit it to just that. If you want us to talk about other things or specific topics, things of that nature, just let us go, inbox us, DM us. We've got great feedback from our last show that we talked about some stuff. I really had fun. Did you?
I had a whole lot of fun. I love the comments.
The comments were phenomenal.
Comments were great.
And for y'all, just to know right now, you don't have to, like, if you want us to talk about something, you can DM us. But if you want to talk about, what did I just say? If you want to
talk about the episode.
Talk about the episode. No. Don't DM us if you want to talk about the episode. If you want us to talk about something, then you can DM us, like, suggestions. But you don't need to hop up in our inbox. You don't need to hop up in our DMs. Like, the reason we're making this show is so you can comment on the video, okay?
Yes.
You don't have to comment towards us, because I would hit you up if I wanted to talk to you specifically. So please don't do that. Just refrain from doing it. It's okay to respond to the story, if you see in my stories or whatever. But if y'all could get that same energy, because some of y'all be sending me paragraphs, put the energy to the video, please.
Yes. Don't call, don't text.
Yeah, don't do
in
it.
The comments.
Please don't do that. All right, so today's topic is talking, dating, and messing around, okay? Now, we've all heard those terms before, but I think that on this show, we should try to get a handle on exactly what those things mean. Talking, dating, and messing around. So if I say I used to talk to somebody, I used to date someone, or we used to mess around. So, Melanie, I'm going to give you the floor and give me, your descriptions on what each one of those are, according to you.
Okay, so it's some blurred lines, obviously, but I'm going to start with talking, right? So talking is that phase where you're getting to know someone. There's not really a whole lot of commitment. Well, there's like no commitment, right? It's just you getting to know this person. Y'all may or may not go out. If you do go out, it's not, a whole lot on a consistent basis. However, talking can lead into sex also. But again, there's no commitment there. It's just you do what you do, they do what they do, and y'all just talk. Dating, there's an understanding. We understand that we're trying to make this work. Or at least see where it's going. I'm not gonna say we're gonna make it work, but we're trying to see where we can take this. And there's a mutual understanding that y'all are on the same page. Again, y'all are going out, you're still talking, sex if you want to, or whatever. And then messing around, this is where the lines get blurred, right? So messing around is just, y'all just do what y'all do. There's definitely no commitment. There's no talk of, there's a possibility of us dating. Like there's none of that. Y'all do what y'all do. But where I say the blurred lines are is like talking and messing around, because the two can kind of coincide. But I'm going to save that for a little bit later though.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's a great description. I feel like the lines are blurred as well, especially when it comes to talking. Talking to me kind of is the same. It involves dating and messing around. I feel like it has different stages of talking. The first stage of talking is, like you said, getting to know someone. You're texting them on the regular. Y'all go hang out sometime, and it isn't anything serious, but it could lead to sex. It could lead to a date. Y'all could be seeing each other on a date every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Y'all at a talking stage. Now, also, like I said, with sex involved, I think talking can lead to messing around, and talking dating, but also people stay at that talking stage. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm trying to holler at this girl and my homeboy says, yeah, I mean, yeah, we used to talk. Or if I ask you, I'm like, you know my homeboy? You're like, yeah, I used to talk to him. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? You used to talk to him. I mean, and then you don't really have a full description of what it is. It's like it's so many things, but I would feel like talking means that we have constant communication with each other. We may have hung out a couple of times, but we're still getting to the level of trying to date each other. Now, when I feel
Yeah.
like with dating, I feel like that means actually going out all the time on dates. You know, it could be a relationship, or you're like this close to being in a relationship, like real close. Because
Yeah.
like dating is the word in itself, like date, like we go out on dates, or not even just go out, like you don't have to actually go out, but also meaning that y'all hang out often. She comes over, she spends the night, you spend the night over there, you know what I'm saying? um Sex can be involved, sex may not be involved, but y'all kiss each other. You have some type of physical, like something
Yeah.
physical could happen. It's a high possibility, but it's a consistent thing. Y'all are both aimed at, or should be aimed at, a relationship if you're not in a relationship already. Now, when it comes to messing around to me means smashing for the most part. Y'all having sex. Y'all had sex before. Y'all may have talked, may have dated, and then say me and you, it didn't get to the point of a relationship, but the sex is still good. So we still mess around. You know what I'm saying? Or it
Right.
could just be like just straight sex. Because if I always use other people as examples. Like if it's someone that you know that's trying to talk to someone, if you tell me, yeah, man, dog, we used to mess around, I'm like, okay, he used to just smash. You know what I'm saying? Or they used to be cut friends, which will be okay if I'm looking at it as an, okay, I want to actually date this girl. Not saying I would actually do it, but it shows the value of what you all had. You know what I'm saying? Some people could look at it, oh, he used to smash, she's just a bust down. Or they could look like, well, they weren't involved with each other like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we could uh like I really like this girl. We could actually date. But when I hear messing around, I automatically think of sex on occasions. Not even just on occasions, but y'all used to just smash. Like, that's pretty much what I think messing around could be. But all of them kind of coincide together.
Yeah, they do. And it can be a blur too, depending on your communication, right? So let's say I'm talking to somebody, or let's say you ask somebody about me and whoever, right? And this guy, if you ask him, he's gonna say, oh yeah, we used to mess around, right? And we probably did have sex a few times or whatever. But then if you come and you ask me and I say something, I'm like, oh yeah, we used to talk, because we talked, like we communicated with each other, but then we also had sex too. So there's like this blurred line of like, what is it really? But I feel like the same thing can go with dating too, right? Sort of like in the beginning phases. So like if you tell somebody, oh, we used to talk, but y'all were like having sex also, but then you ask the other person, they're like, oh yeah, we dated because y'all went out, y'all had sex, y'all were talking on a consistent basis. But because I feel like females are like a little bit more sensitive and emotional or whatever, and we get like attached a lot quicker, I feel like for us it would be something completely different. And then you go ask the guy, he's like, oh yeah, no, we was just talking. So like all of it all of it like kind of blurs together. But I think there are some things that are like very definitive that separate them though.
Yeah, I think, and it's that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I think it's so many blurred lines and people use the term so loosely. Now, my thing is, if you say dating, then I know that y'all were serious or getting to be serious or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because of course, if I say that's my ex, that means that that's my last relationship. My last girlfriend or whatever. So, um, but if I say we used to date, that means that I do have I cared about the girl. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
love the girl, and she may not have been in love with me to the point that we got into a relationship. But I think that when you bring that up, the whole dating thing, that's when I actually look at it like it's like more of a serious thing.
Yeah. But I think when you add sex for some people, then that's why I said that when you add sex for some people, like let's say you're talking to somebody, right? Then sex becomes a factor, but you don't necessarily have that conversation of like what y'all are doing, right? So for a female, sometimes because we've given ourselves to you, so to speak, then we feel like we've taken our relationship to a different level where like even just without like talking about it, right? So we went from talking, and now because we didn't have sex or had sex a few times, in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, we doing a little bit more than talking. But I mean, it really just depends on the person. Because for me, I need clarity on what we doing.
Well, usually, and I mean, you know, with some guys, we don't really use the term dating like that. You know what I'm saying? If anything, we'll be like, yeah, you know, we used to talk. You know, we used to kick it. We used to hang around, whatever, like that. And that could be hiding the point of, because like me, for example, I'm not, if she's my ex or something like that, then I'll be, okay, yeah, that's my ex. You know, we used to talk. I mean, you see how loosely I use that? I'll be like,
right.
we're not as serious because we don't want to be cock blockers, or at least I know I don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you like her and she like you, now of course, if it's my ex, I would feel a certain type of way. If it's somebody that I know, like if it's one of my acquaintances or, you know, an associate, because I want to save the episode talking about can your friends date your ex on another one. I can't talk about that.
Yeah.
So it could be a thing, like, you know, if that happens, sometimes we don't want to, you know, like I could really have liked Melanie's, right? And then the other dude try to talk to her, I'm like, well, shoot, go ahead, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? In the back of my mind, I'm like, man, he finna pull her. He finna pull her. And then you got on the other end, you got some guys that just don't care, you know.
Right.
Y'all used to talk, date. You don't want to mess up the bro code. You know what I'm saying? Like in a group of friends, especially, like if it's a girl that is off limits, you would kind of let the man know. You know, at the end of the day, like, or you, if that's your partner, you should actually know the boundary not to cross. Like he really cares,
Right.
you know, or whatever. But yeah, so people stay. Now this is the thing with the talking stage, right? People stay in that talking stage for a while, and then women have to ask the question, right?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You feel that if a woman has to ask that question, that she is putting herself on the line, or should she? I mean, because you should ask the question, right?
Yeah.
You know exactly what it is, but do you think that you? Okay, let me ask you this: when should a woman ask that question? Like, what are we doing? What do you feel like?
I think you should ask that question when y'all have been talking so much to the point that like you really know this person. Obviously like there's feelings. Y'all are hanging out a whole lot more than what you did in the beginning. So maybe you went from like talking a few times a week to talking every day, or y'all going out every weekend and y'all making plans to do so. Like when you start making plans with people in advance, like, okay, where is this going? What are we doing? So I think at that point of where it's like starting to be consistent and you're doing relationship type things, then yeah, that's when you like, okay, pause. What's going on here?
Now, break that down. What are relationship type of things?
Again, making plans to do things or go places. And not to say you can do that like while dating, talking or whatever, but I'm talking about more so like you're going to my friend's wedding with me, or I got a work picnic, or like things that like where you're seen with some like scene with somebody. I'm not talking about the bar. But you know, those things where you're introducing that person, it's like, okay, wait a minute, taking this a little bit too deep. So then I think, yeah, that conversation, it needs to be had.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. especially like if you're planning to bring them around family and stuff like that. Because
Yes.
if you bring someone, an individual around your family, and something don't work out, the last thing you want to hear is your family continuing to bring this person up left and right. Can we still? I mean, can we still be Facebook friends? With your ex? I mean, I love this. You know, I just,
No.
it takes a lot out. That's why to this day it's like I don't really like tell my parents, not unless I know anything is like official, like all the
Right.
because you just that's the last thing you will want is the shit to not work out with the person. It
You
happens.
never
Like,
know.
inevitable. This you could be married to this person and then stuff don't work out, and obviously your parents are still gonna be asking about them. But some people like to be in a certain stage, like maybe just the dating stage, the talking stage, whatever like that, and they get comfortable with that. Because men could ask the woman that too, because a woman could really like you, but she still don't feel like you're the one. But for the time being, she's going to be in that talking dating stage with you
Right. She's just entertaining the attention. That's all.
till someone comes around. Now,
Yeah.
this is another thing that people go through. It's like, because I've heard this and seen it a few times. Uh, you're dating someone, right? And then you don't end up being with them, and you're telling that person, "Hey, I'm not ready," right? So
Hmm.
the next person comes up, and then you stop talking to this person and get into a relationship, and then end up marrying this other person. Just like if we're together and you keep saying, Jay, when we gonna get married? When we gonna get married? And I'm like, look, I ain't, I'm not ready for that. I ain't ready for that. So then eventually, we don't get married. Like we break everything off. And then this other person comes up, and then I end up proposing to this person like within a year. You're gonna feel like, what in the hell? What went on? Like, how did this happen? So I think that you go with whatever energy, what I'm saying? Like, so what you may think is right for you, it may not be right for the other person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of people can get their feelings hurt because they stick with this person for so long, and then the other person comes up, and that your person that you were dating ends up giving the relationship or giving the marriage to someone else that they, and it makes you feel like shit because damn, like I actually care for this person, and I thought that you know it's crazy when
Yeah.
that happens a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's like a whole nother topic right right there. But I mean, again, it still goes back to communicating like what it is that you want. Because at the end of the day, whether we talking for 3 weeks or we talking for 3 months, like you know what your motive is with somebody. You know what you want from them. I mean, same like last week when we were talking sex on the first date. Like you know what you want from somebody off of your conversations with them. So if we've been talking for 3 months and it ain't going nowhere and it is what it is, then it's just that. Even if we're having sex, then when I figure out, okay, this isn't going anywhere, maybe the sex is good. Okay, I'm gonna entertain the conversations, maybe a little bit less, but I'm still gonna talk to them and we gonna do what we do. Meanwhile, I'm talking to this other person at the same time, getting to know them. And that's how that same situation that you just said, with dating somebody and then moving on and marrying the next person, like that's how that happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask you this. So when we're in the talking, dating, or messing around stage, right? Let's stick with talking and dating. Is it okay to be talking and dating someone else? Can you do that with more than one person at the same time?
I think I think you can talk to multiple people at the same time. I don't think you can date multiple people at the same time. Because dating is like there's a mutual understanding at the dating phase. Like you understand that, okay, I'm interested in you, you're interested in me, and together we're trying to take this wherever. Whether it's you already commit, like, okay, well, we've been talking for a while now. Y'all have had the discussion, okay, we're together as in like a relationship. Or just having the conversation of I want to focus on you, you want to focus on me, and this is where we're going. With talking, there's room to dibble and dabble elsewhere. But again, you still have to be careful because you don't want things to like cross paths. And then now this person who maybe you were talking to, but you're like, you want to go to that next stage with, you can't because whatever you had going on over here has interrupted that.
Let me ask you this. So if I'm dating multiple women at the same time, right? Or you're dating multiple men at the same time, you're not in a relationship, right? Because dating isn't a relationship. Now I understand what you just said. I'm just asking, just
dating can be a relationship.
it can be, but what if it's not? What if you're not in that relationship, but you're dating multiple people at the same time? I ain't gonna say multiple. Say you're dating like 2-3 dudes, right? Or 2-3 girls.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily. It's not cheating, right? Because you're not in a relationship.
No, it's not cheating, but you also have to understand the dynamic of what you have going on with somebody. Like if you know that they're catching feelings for you and you're still talking to other people, I think that's something that needs to be clear. Because if I catch you out, we've been talking, we spend every night talking or whatever, but then, I see you out and I don't know, I'm trying to think of a scenario. And you're like, you're all on, some girl or whatever, and y'all kissing and this, that, and the third. I'm be a little bit confused. And I probably won't say anything to you. I'm gonna let you be great right there where you at. I'm just not gonna answer the phone anymore. But
bring it up. I mean, if it's someone you care about, you will want to bring it up and say, hey, buddy, like, I thought that me and you were exclusive. Because the thing is, his argument could be, well, I mean, we're not together, right?
Right.
Every scenario. I'm just bringing up different scenarios because a lot of people can get confused with something like this.
Yeah, but again, that's why I feel like dating again is like this mutual understanding that this is what we're doing together. I don't know. Talking, yes, because before I started talking to you, you was talking to 2-3 other people probably before then. So have at it until you feel like, okay, this is what I want to focus on. But dating, like, I don't know. Dating is hard because I feel like at that point you're either committed, like we made it official, like, okay, you're my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend. I feel like if it's not that, it's still kind of talking a little bit. Like you can have that conversation, like, okay, I like you, you like me, I want to see where this goes without making this commitment, right, of being together. I feel like that would be dating, but even still, I wouldn't expect you to be dating other people. Talking, yeah, maybe. Dating, no.
And I mean, I do agree with that. As far as, because of course, if you're in that relationship or in that marriage, it would be considered cheating if you get anything else from from anybody outside of that. But
Right.
dating to me is engagement into a relationship, right? So yeah, if both of y'all feel exclusive, because some people don't feel like, hey, I'm putting all my eggs in one basket, and they could have different reasons they feel that way because of how the dude is moving or how the girl is moving. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems that, hey, she's been spending out over here all the time. Every time I call her, she answers, whatever like that. And then next thing,
Yeah.
remember last week when I told you that it's always some nigga in that inbox. I told you that, right?
Right.
Looking in and she's responding to these good morning beautiful text messages, and a dude may be like, look, let me take you out for a drink, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you could look at that as harmless, like, yeah, he took me out for a drink, or yeah, he took me to get some food or whatever like that. I wasn't gonna say no. I mean, I don't see any rings on these fingers, you know what I'm saying? Women do it too, because I think that we get such a bad rep from guys. We're like, okay, if we date multiple women, we're players and all that other stuff. But it has been instances to where fellas feel like, hey, I really, really like this girl. But, they may have heard or saw her out with someone, or, heard that she's been entertaining other people. And her argument just could be, well, we're not in a relationship. I didn't know we were exclusive. Because I feel like a relationship it's an exclusive agreement saying, hey, we're in this committed relationship to where I'm gonna have sex with only you, I'm gonna go out with only you, nobody else on the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even that line gets blurred because, okay, what's the difference between a relationship and a marriage? Now, of course, you could say the marriage is legally we're together, right? But if we take the legal process out, or legal aspect rather out, what do you have? Is it, hey, we are in a lifelong commitment versus a relationship is just a commitment? You see what I'm saying? It's so interesting.
That's a little bit far-fetched now. Like, that's like saying, okay, if we're in a relationship, there's still room to do whatever I want to do because legally we're not binded together.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's what you're saying.
Well, no, because it's some people who actually think that, and that's why I wanted to talk about it today, because like our response to that. Now, I'm not saying I agree with that, but I like to get different people's perspectives on things. You know what I'm saying? It's women that could feel like, and men that could feel like, hey, well, you know, we're in a relationship, but we're not married yet. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we're married and all that comes in, then you can commit adultery and all that other stuff. But it's some people that walking around in this world that feel like, hey, I'm in a relationship. That I didn't say that I was married, so I can still do X, Y, Z. But what I'm saying is, I do agree with the dating aspect. Come on now, like if y'all both feeling each other, spending all the time together, you know, and then you're in a relationship, you didn't met this person's family, all that other stuff. Because I'm in a relationship, the marriage is the next step, you know.
Right.
So, and one quick thing I want to touch on, because it was a meme that was floating around. No, I guess it was me. So if a man proposes, you saw what it said. If a man proposes to the woman and she does not, is the relationship over? My answer to that is yes. Yes, it is.
It doesn't have to be over. I understand from a male perspective why it would be over, because it takes a lot for y'all to get to that point. A lot, like for us, it's a whole lot easier. But so I understand from a male perspective why you would be like, well, shit, it's a wrap. Like, I did what I came to do, and this not what you want, then I'm done. I get it. But it really just depends. Like, I feel like you should wait for her why, you know, and go from there before you're just like, I'm done. You know, I feel like if I told somebody, it'd take a whole lot for me to tell somebody no. But I don't know. It just depends on her why.
Well, no. I mean, first of all, I would want to say that if you have every right to deny it. I'm not saying that you have to be pressed, because the last thing you would want is someone who doesn't want to be in a marriage just say yes. If I'm proposing to a woman and she says no for whatever reason it is, I would want you to, it's not like I'm putting a gun in your head. And that's where some get it confused, especially women our ages, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that marriage is more so like a glamorous thing. Going on, like, so I can show I have a man and this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm going on Instagram, and I mean, some people are actually in love, but I feel like if, like you said, if I built it up, because I know how committed and how focused I am, and it would take a lot for me. It would take all, like, I'm telling you, I want to be with you and only you, have kids with you forever. You know what I'm saying? That's a deal. That means all this pussy that's walking around, I don't want none of it. I want yours. Well, you could actually still want it, but I'm not going to get it. I'm going to. So if I build that up, and for you to tell me no, it's like, well, damn, I thought you would have felt the same way. So it's like, I know that the relationship probably would not be the same. But that's not saying, if you do say no, hey, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? I propose and I'm like, hey, it's just like applying for a job, a career. If you're trying to get that job popping and that career popping, and they say either you can get it or you don't, maybe that career wasn't for you, just like maybe that person wasn't for you. So that's what I'm saying in that aspect of it. It's like, I understand, or I would like to know the reason why, but
would you though, or would you just be like, whatever your reason is, you don't care? Because
I would like to, because obviously if I'm in love with the woman, I would want to know, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't know if I would feel the same. Because I'm like, man, like, because I know how ready I would be. I'm not one of them type of dudes after we've been dating for 3 months or dating for a month and then just proposing to you like that. Like, it would take a lot for me to get to that point. So if it's so much energy I put into that, for you to tell me no, it's just like, well, damn, what the hell? I thought that we're not on the same wavelength.
Right.
That's why I would be like, I don't know. But I would want you to say no if you don't feel comfortable or if you don't want to do it. Now, I know some women are going to try to chew me out in the comments. You don't know. You could just wait. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm saying me as a focused individual that I am. I'm not
right.
ask anybody to marry me. So that's my perspective. What's your perspective on
Well, see, it's a little different for us because 9 times out of 10 we're not the one proposing, like we're the one being proposed to. So I think if I was being proposed to and my answer was to be no to someone, like my why would either have to be, I would think, I don't know, probably one, I just feel like like maybe we're in a hard place in our relationship and I just feel like we haven't gotten to a point where we can like make that commitment to say, okay, we're gonna do this for the rest of our lives. Like maybe there's some things that we still need to like figure out and work on. And I mean, a relationship is even when you get married, it's just this constant progression of making things better, right? But maybe, I don't know, you've been out of work for a while and I need you to like get on your feet and I need to understand that you're going to do what's necessary to provide for this family. Or maybe there's there's some personal things that you need to deal with before. Matter of fact, I can think of one right now. Maybe there's a dynamic of your family not feeling this relationship, right? Maybe you're a mama's boy and your mom just not ready to let go, right? And she's doing everything, not necessarily intentionally, so to speak, because she's trying to hold on to her baby, but it's damaging to the relationship to the point where y'all can't even be in the same space. So how do you plan to make this marriage and this family grow and function when you can't even have your side of the family in the same space? Like we can't have separate birthdays and separate Christmas and all these other things. So if that dynamic is not going to work, or either even with friends, maybe your friends feel some type of way about your relationship, but then like you want to bring them into our house. Maybe we're living together, or probably not with me, but I'm just saying, like, maybe we're living together. Like, you don't want to be like, well, your friends can't come over here because they don't like me. When you have this family friends dynamic and like these things that are toxic to your relationship, but that person is, because they're the middleman, they're not willing to fix it. That would make me skeptical to be like, okay, if you're not man enough to step up to your mom or whoever in your family and be like, look, this is who I'm with, y'all need to respect this person. Yeah, I would probably be like, no, this is not gonna work, because that, like, things like that matter to me.
Well, my thing would be this: if that was the issue, you know what I'm saying, and if we talked about it, whatever, then you probably should go ahead and get out that relationship before it even gets to the point of engagement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you wouldn't. If I know I don't like this girl's dad, I don't like her family, I don't like everything you just said in reverse. You know what I'm saying? Playing opposite sides of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
I would be like, this girl just probably ain't gonna be for me. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't even let it get to that point to where it would be an engagement. Some people let stuff linger on. And if you let all that stuff linger on and then boom, he asks you the question, and then, pops the big question. You're like, well, nah. And what's the reason why? Because X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, well, shit, why didn't you could have been left.
But you know that though. But then I think it's different if that person's like, yeah, I'm working on it. I'm gonna make this work. Or it don't matter what they think, because that's like the common thing that people want to say. Oh, it doesn't matter what they think, or I'm gonna work on it, and then they don't, because either you leave it alone and you don't say anything, or nothing has happened to trigger those feelings again. So then they think everything good.
My big point would be, If you don't feel like you would marry that person, you don't feel like you don't need to be with them, especially at this point in our age, at our,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You don't need to be getting into no relationship with nobody if you don't feel like you would marry them. Like, you got a lot of time between the talking stage all the way to the relationship. I figure people out. I ask a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not gonna know every single thing. You can marry this motherfucker and then you could, you know, find out something you didn't know about them, right? It's trial,
Right.
but at the same time, I feel like it's a lot of time you can learn all of that stuff or actually know to where if you wouldn't marry this person. Because like I said, if y'all are our ages, which is like 30 and up, late 20s and up, if you're a millennial period, you should not be getting into a relationship with someone that you would not consider marrying. Point blank. That's
Right. No, that's facts for real. So okay, with that being said, right? So you got your talking dating phases. At our age, for you, what do you feel like consists of like talking? Like where does talking stop for you, and where does dating start?
mm, I don't have a certain time frame, but I would agree with the whole. I think when it comes to actually introducing them to friends, you know what I'm
Then
saying?
you're dating.
You're dating. If you're,
Okay.
but I mean, you still could be talking to somebody, and then somebody can meet them that way. But if I'm bringing you around, like if we're dating, and then hey, this is Melanice, this is Sean or whatever, like you know what I'm saying? Like I think that is a part of it. When you're comfortable enough to bring her around your friends, your family, and all that other stuff, because you can still bring them around your family, even if y'all not boyfriend or girlfriend, or in a relationship. But I
Can
feel,
you?
yeah, you can. You can. I'm not saying that you should, because you
You
could
don't
have
know.
your family be pressed on you like that. Oh, that's just another girl that is bringing around. The real thing is gonna be if he come up to me and say, "Mama, we're in a relationship" or something like that. Like it could be anything. Like it's a cookout, right? Your family got a cookout. You're bringing that person there. But like I said, for me personally, I think that once you start introducing them to people that you're close to, all that type of stuff, that's when it can go from talking to dating. And then also spend the night all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A routine that y'all do. That's dating. You know what I'm saying? Date doesn't have to actually be going out, you know what I'm saying, and going to the movies and all that other stuff. But when your day, you plan your week around that person. Well, I can't say that because we messing around with somebody. Let me not say that. But when you plan accordingly for that person that you like, I guess.
Yeah. You consider them and what you have going on.
Yeah, and what you have going on. And it's not just smashing and all that other stuff. It's like more so career-wise, you know what I'm saying? You know, hobby-wise, like stuff like that. Like that's what I feel like. When y'all start doing that, that's my take on
I don't think I think it's different for women because I'm not bringing anybody around my family that I am not like I don't consider my boyfriend. Like if we're talking, not bringing you around my family. Friends,
it. You'll bring
they might know about you,
you'll bring
but I wouldn't like if it's somebody's birthday, then they're like, oh yeah, yeah, no,
I mean, I don't think that that's really harmful. Like, friend, family, yeah, I agree with you on family. But friends, it's like, if it's a kickback, you know what I'm saying? And your homeboy's throwing a kickback and you just bring a chick that you're talking to there, that could be a little hangout thing. That's just like going on a date. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But then you don't want to make a habit of it, like
Yeah.
you just the next chick or you just the next dude that they bring in. Like then somebody mess around, call you the wrong name and shit. Like
Be that. But that's why I say you have to govern yourself accordingly. Be able to be prepared on what that outcome could actually be. But anyway, I think that we gave them enough juice for tonight. On that particular subject. Next week we will come up with you know what I'm gonna say right here. I want to talk about dating your friend's ex Can you date?
Mhm.
Can you talk to your friend's ex? Best friend, associates, all that stuff. So all my redheads, I want you to actually think about that. All right, because we're gonna do it again next week. And again, like, subscribe, comment. You don't have to end.
Comment.
Really, really want to build this up. So y'all comment. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/We Authentic Network. You already know where to follow me at. It's at JAYR3D. Where do we follow you at, Melanice?
At its ITS _ Mel's World.
Yes. And this is called Free Game, hashtag free game. All right. This is J Red and Melanice, and we are out of here.
Later.